Well, a busy sports night in St. Louis on this Tuesday. Pirates over at Busch Stadium and, of course, City SC at Energizer Park. A lot going on in downtown St. Louis, and the weather has been pretty quiet. We still have clouds across the area, and our expectation is they're sticking around for most of the night, along with that potential that we do end up with a few more spritzes and sprinkles, but not anything like the rain we saw yesterday. So your rainfall totals since Sunday night, some of us ended up with a little more than 5 inches of rain in the rain gauge. Most of us ended up with 2 to 3 inches around the metro St. Louis area. Again, variable amounts depending on whether the thunderstorm was over your neighborhood or not, and repeatedly in some cases over the same spots with the heavier rain. But many of us in the metro area, including at the airport, ended up with some pretty substantial rainfall. 2.51 inches was Monday's total officially from Lambert, which beat the old daily record back in 1890 of 2.38 inches, which is a pretty decent amount of rain for one day. But keep in mind, May is our wettest month of the year. It's also the month when we see those showers and thunderstorms notoriously have the capability of producing some heavy rainfall. We did not get a whole lot of rain in the rain gauge on your Wednesday, but what we did get, mainly during the morning hours at 0.06 of an inch, that was enough to keep things settled and to effectively push the threat of severe weather out of the St. Louis area through the course of Tuesday. 78 was our high temperature, 65 for the low temperature. We'll take times like that where we can get some morning rain and make everything that's going to be more impactful and problematic move out of the area. Few showers are still possible on a Wednesday. We're not talking about a whole lot of rain. We're talking sprinkles, very light showers. The next significant rain will arrive by Friday morning. And then there's low rain chances Saturday through Monday, Memorial Day. All right, so the weekend, we can't guarantee it's going to be dry. It also does not look like it's a washout. Rain should be limited and there should be more dry time than damp time as we go into the weekend. Right now, we're effectively watching the cooler air sliding across the region, already in the 50s to our north and to our west. We're down into the 60s. The wind's turning more to the north. That will allow cooler air to filter in. The rain from this morning, and even though it wasn't all that heavy, it lingered into the afternoon. That effectively pushed that cold front and the boundary that fires thunderstorms off to our south and east. You see, the storms have rolled through Cleveland, weakening tonight. They've rolled through much of eastern and southern Indiana at this point. We still have some down towards Memphis. There's even a couple of little showers off to our south and southeast. That's going to be the case through the overnight hours. There'll be a couple of little showers. They try to pop up more so southeast of St. Louis. Doubtful we'd see too much in the metro area that amounts to much. But by the same token, the clouds are still sticking around into tomorrow morning. And even as we start to get the clouds to break up during the midday hours into the afternoon, that may actually generate a few additional showers because the air aloft is so cold. So it does make it a bit more unstable. So that's something we'll be monitoring as we move through the day on Wednesday. We should get into a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy scenario for the evening hours and be able to dry out at least a little bit. But we'll say tonight and into tomorrow, really, the chance for a spot shower, a few sprinkles. We're not going to see severe weather. We don't have to worry about that. We do go down into the 50s out the door tomorrow morning and only in the mid 60s for tomorrow afternoon. Again, rain chances for tomorrow are quite limited. You can't rule out a sprinkle or a shower. But because of the extra cloud cover most of the day, that's going to hold our temperatures back. Now, with all the rain we've just had, and even though temperatures won't be especially warm for the next couple of days, that wet ground, that standing water, the bit of a breeze that's around, the mosquito forecast, we're putting that in the medium category. And as we go into the weekend when it starts to get warmer after yet more rain, we probably will be flirting with a lot of bugs here as we go into early next week. Tree pollen was moderate, grass went down to low, but the mold count, that soared because of course, all the rain we've seen. And yes, there is more rain. This is 7 o'clock on Thursday. Our next widespread rain will be pushing in here as we go into your Thursday night and on into Friday. Now, it'll evolve and arrive here before daybreak on Friday, and we think this is off and on, probably more on than off, showers and a few rumbles of thunder. We don't see this at all being a severe weather threat as we go into Friday and Friday afternoon. And much of this should be shifting out of our area, at least the widespread rain, as we go into Friday late in the evening and into the overnight hours. But what doesn't really leave is the front. It's not going to be too far away. And with that in mind, the entire 3-day weekend right now is a weekend that has limited sunshine. We'll likely have a rain chance. We think it's mainly low, but at some point between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there probably will be a disturbance that comes along that will enhance that opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. Still doesn't look like a severe weather setup for us as we go through this weekend, which is really good. And our temperatures are going to be in the low 80s, 80 to 83, so a little bit above average. So it's quite pleasant, I'd say. And there's more dry time, we think, than wet time. But somewhere in here, and it's just too early to say, there will be a little disturbance that slips along that's going to give us a few extra, more concentrated showers at some point over that 3-day weekend going into Memorial Day. Friday, though, we know that is going to be a wet day, especially the first half of the day. Temperatures in the lower 70s on Friday, and then we're back into the 80s going into the weekend and into next week. Now, we do see going to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, looks like a little better chances for some showers and thunderstorms as we get into a bit more of a warmer pattern and a pattern that is more conducive to maybe seeing a better chance of those showers and thunderstorms. So that's something we'll keep our eyes on as we go right on in through Memorial Day weekend. So there'll be a lot to follow this weekend. Make sure you're streaming that radar 24/7. It's available all the time on our app.